Episode 7 today of X-Men 97 picks up just where, of course, we've left off with the fallout of Genosha and how the rest of the mutants are trying to cure themselves after the wreckage as well. And we definitely see Rogue, of course, going on basically kind of a bit like Wanda does, but not too crazy, you know. And Rogue doesn't creates a fake town for her grieving process. No, she goes on a rampage and finds out who really did this. You know, people think, oh, it's Miss Sinister, and if we think it's Trask, but I will reveal who the actual villain who's doing this. And she actually goes and talk with Ross of all things. So like, oh, that's cool. So they're actually bringing in some of the MCU characters in this. They actually go to Madripoor, which is funny enough, that's of course in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I think is kind of weird because they looked on Disney Plus, and this show is part of the multiverse saga, but this is completely different. This is a sequel to the original show, not MCU connection, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why, but they do go to Madripoor at one point, which is nice. And she's finding out she's daily basically dealing with grief and how she can't accept Remy's dead, aka Gambit, obviously, and it's really sad. They have a funeral as well, and then we also see a bit where Sunspot and Jubilee go to see Sunspot's mum, and cause he is a rich kid, he's got a rich family, and he's part of a family business, and they can't accept mutants or what happened in Genosha. And the mother's fine with it, but the business can work with that, especially with higher stock prices that a rich family would do, as well. And of course, we get to see good old Captain America show up, which is nice to see. And that was a nice little cameo to show you that this is still a sequel to the original show, which had cameos like Spider-Man and all that. I remember all that. And looking for a note called OZT, and then she goes to Gyrick, who isn't getting any information, but then Rogue does kind of absorbs his mind and find out what's going on as well. And we get to see more with Scott and Jean about how she's not so the same. This is what happened with the whole Phoenix Force, and she came back and the whole cloning stuff we saw with Madeline, and it's still like she's still getting memories of what happened back in the original show, which was nice as well, becoming the Phoenix and then falling out of the plane, all that stuff. We all know the story, and it's really great. And again, amazing episode, terrific dialogue, great animation, great emotional moments as well. And I'll give you the biggest trick. So basically, they find out that Drax is like, okay, you need to come to Madripoor and all that. And then they all walk in, all main X-Men crew, except for Jubilee and Sunspot. They all come in, they're like, wait a minute, what's all these robots doing here? And you find out that, I like the fact they reference Oppenheimer, which is kind of nice, and they go and he references I Am Dead becomes Destroyer of Worlds. He's about to jump off the building, and then Rogue catches him. Then you realize it's a double twist. It's like a double twist almost. And you find out that Trask is some human sentinel, apparently I think Sinister, and I'll get to the guy who is behind all this, who isn't Sinister actually. And then of course they have a big fight with robot Trask, who's basically a sentinel now. And it was a cool fight scene. They save everybody. We see more become Quicksilver, which is nice. And then of course a grenade comes in. An EMP grenade show up, and it's none other than Cable. And we get a bit of a father and son / mother team up, because they realize, we know in the comics, in the future, Nathaniel becomes Cable in the future, obviously. Nathaniel Summers. And then you find out at the very end, well, almost at the end, that Sinister's actually working with Bastion, who of course is a mix of Nimrod and Machine Man, which is nice. In the comics, that is. And he was the real man behind pulling all the strings. And you find out he actually kidnapped Eric, and now he's just handcuffed with a neutralized neck, pretty much the weapons that Forge talking to Storm about, the choke, not the choke ones. It's like the neutralized weapons they put around necks of mutants, and then he's just calmly shaving his beard. And I was like, oh wow, so Bastion is the main villain of this actual show, not Sinister. I love the fact it was like a double red herring, which I do love. and it's really good. It's like I like we got to see more of the broader Marvel universe with Bring coming back to this animated side of Marvel, and I love it. I got emotional. I loved this episode, like all the others. It's all great. Can't wait to see what happens with Bastion becoming the main villain of this sequel show.